Hi. Hello. Vanakkam, this is Parkavi, and I do know you're wondering why I'm saying Vanakkam with books. Well, let me tell you why. These two books happens to be my favorites, and this little thought has been bothering me for a while now, which is why can't I read these two books as one story? Is there a possible way to put this story into this one? And how do we actually call it? Is it a story and a story at the beginning, or is it a story and a story at the end, or is it a story within a story? And which can lead to another question, which is what is called story within a story? Is there a term to define that? And what about the types? How are they used? Is it only used in books or is it used in movies? Let's find it out in the rest of the video. Keep watching. Now we'll get started by understanding the term that is used to define the story within a story. The term that is used is framed narrative. This framed narrative is a storytelling technique where the outer layer of the frame is known as the main plot. This main plot usually gives an idea about the overall play. It can tell you about the context or the setting of the play or story. And within this frame, there are another story, which can be one story or more than one. These stories will contribute to the overall main plot. So basically, this is what all this framed narrative is. Now, why do storytellers use framed narratives in their work? Well, these narratives add layers to the storytelling, providing depth and complexity. Multiple stories within the main narrative contribute to a richer, more intricate overall tale experience. The second one is audience engagement. This layered structure of the framed narrative can captivate and engage the audience. It usually creates a sense of curiosity and intrigue as they navigate through interconnected stories, fostering a more immersive experience. The third one is artistic expression and experiments. These framed narratives provide a canvas for artistic expression, and the writers, filmmakers can use this structure to experiment with the narrative techniques, symbolisms, and storytelling devices, which will contribute to their artistic merit for their work. We'll see two examples from books as well as from movies. The first one we have here is Wuthering Heights, which is written by Emily Bronte. Here, this guy, Mr. Lockwood, is paying a visit to Wuthering Heights, and he happened to hear stories about that place from a housekeeper. So now the whole frame is this Lockwood person is in the Wuthering Heights, which is happened to be the frame. And what is the internal story is the housekeeper is sharing about the events to Lockwood. These are the internal stories we have, which is why we call this whole work as framed narrative. The second book we have is Cloud Atlas, written by David Mitchell. Here the character named Zachary tells a story to his grandchildren, and this serves as the main frame. Within this frame, 6 different stories unfold, each carrying its unique characters and plot lines. Moving on from books, the first movie we have here is The Forrest Gump 1994. The film is framed by Forrest Gump narrating his life story while sitting on a bench and waiting for a bus. Within this frame, the audience is taken through the Forrest life, which includes various embedded stories involving historical events as well as personal experiences. Next movie is The Princess Bride 1987. A grandfather reads a fairy tale to his grandson, creating a frame. Inside this, the main adventure unfolds with the princesses and the pirates. It's like reading a big storybook with 2 layers in it, the one being read and the exciting tale within. If you're still confused of what this framed narrative is, let's watch a clip. From the clip, we can see the man is trying to find diamonds inside a doll. So when he opens the first one, he'll see another one with a smaller in size. So the actions goes on until he finds the diamond. So So these dolls are known as Matryoshka dolls, and it will decrease in size when you open one after the other. Relating this to frame narrative, the outer doll can be considered as the frame, and the dolls inside are the embedded stories which is within the frame. So the working of the Matryoshka doll relates to the story structure of the framed narrative. Let's look into few subtypes of framed narrative. In nested narratives, stories are embedded within one another like those Matryoshka dolls. So these each layer reveal a new perspective, adding depth and complexity to the overall plot. A circular narrative is like telling a story that comes back to where it started. It's like ending a tale in a way that connects seamlessly with the beginning, creating a sense of completion or loop in the storyline. Media res means starting a story right in the middle of the action or an exciting moment instead of beginning the story from the start. It's like jumping into the action to grab the attention of the audience. An epistolary narrative unfolds through letters, diaries, or any written document. This method provides closer look into the character's thought and emotions. We'll compare framed narrative with other narratives, which is linear narrative and non-linear narrative. In framed narratives, it is story within a story. In linear narrative, the story usually follows a chronological sequence which has a cause and the effect. It is straightforward and simple. In non-linear narrative, it doesn't follow any order. It usually plays with the order of events and time. Before ending the video, let me give you one more little comparison. Think of a frame narrative like a Spotify playlist. The main story is the playlist itself, and each subplot is the songs that you add to the playlist. Just as each song adds to the overall theme of the playlist, each narrative layer enhances the richness of the storytelling experience. Thank you for watching the video.